Good evening, everyone, or as Tom likes to say, greetings and love. This is Sanctuary by Gnoshery Libertas. I'm Marcia, and this is episode 35. And we are here on Monday night, Labor Day, September 5th of 2022. And every week, for those of you who have not heard of us before, we get together to draw in what Spirit wants us to know for the week. And I refer to Spirit as the part of source energy or God or the nameless, whatever you want to call the all that is, that can move through us, but it also has that eagle eye perspective of perhaps what's most beneficial for us. Some may call it the higher self, but I prefer to look at it as the action energy of God, or the part that is able to give us the ongoing wisdom as we move through this linear perspective. Because as the human self, it's often very close to our face, and sometimes we don't always see from the same perspective that Spirit offers. So when I speak to the weave, I am speaking to the term that Spirit gave me in 2012, which is a term which encompasses the parts of the realms that we cannot see and the ones that we can see, and how they interweave together, and how our personal relationship with our Creator, like I said, whatever name or no name you want to call that energy of love and infinite wisdom and infinite awareness. Weave is the action term and also the noun of how we can begin to live that experience where we are one with our divinity at all times. And so we begin to experience life through that perspective. We begin to become that perspective. And then life begins to take on a more magical perspective, as we can see here from my shoe shopping mantis friend who saved me after 3 hours of middle school shoe shopping this week. So this is beauty here in the weave, reminding me to stop, to pay attention, that sometimes the most miraculous things are really in the details. And tonight's light transmission from Spirit is called Am I Ready? And for those of you who've been with me for a while, we talk about the I am presence of God, and how here in this physical reality, it's often the inverse, the am I, am I good enough? Am I going to get the job? Am I going to keep this, healthy relationship? We have these doubts that just come from being in this density, in this human realm. And Spirit refers to that as the small I am, the little I. And we have to kind of break that open into the am I. So there's often this period of doubt, or what some might even call the dark night of the soul, where we are stripped bare and we are kind of torn away from the life that we knew. And that puts us really into that am I state, but it also draws us closer to God, closer to Spirit, closer to that infinite awareness of love, which ultimately allows us to bring in what I would call the Christos, or the Christ presence, allowing our human to remember our divinity and actually live here embodied as the I am. And what does that mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean you're walking around on water. In fact, spiritual powers really have nothing to do with the Christ presence. This is a presence of compassion, of humility, of grace, of strength, of extreme precision and intelligence. And it is fluid. So in one moment, the divine will may be asking us to present in the weave as one way. And then in the next, we are encouraged to be maybe in ruthless compassion, which could be the exact opposite of the gentleness that we were asked to present in the previous situation. And of course, the ego can get very confused, and it always wants to do the right thing, hopefully, of course, to at least protect itself, if not to do the right thing in the weave. And when we're really tuned into Spirit, when we're really tuned into the weave, we will come to realize that there is no script, that the script is actually being offered us in every moment. And if we can kind of present ourselves as divine actors on the stage, then we're actually able to receive the instructions that Spirit, that the weave is trying to show us. And we don't miss these little moments that actually bring us some of the most miraculous and joyful moments throughout our day and throughout our life. And so this am I ready? Spirit has been speaking, kind of really nudging us for several months now, that the collective is about to experience this metaphorical notion of death, this metaphorical experience of death, that we would each individually and collectively, unless we have already had a death experience within our soul matrix, be coming up against um, things that were going to tear apart our reality as we knew it. So this could be a business collapsing. This could be a relationship ending. This could be, life as we knew it kind of totally taking a turn from the direction that we had originally intended. And yet we're in that am I space. We're in that broken, wide open, raw, vulnerable space that actually allows us to finally receive the true instructions for our life. It allows us to be right place and right time. And here the lyrics came through. If you call me, you will know me. If you call me, I'll be there. If you call me, you will find me. If you call me, I'll be there. And this promise from the infinite love, the infinite presence, the infinite awareness, that when we ask, we will always receive. And so this question of am I ready is really, are we ready to confront all that we are not, so that we can fully step into all that we are, the fullness of the I am.